Don't
So
give up yourself. And don't give up on loving other people. I think that's a good message to take away. Just because someone was a bad friend to you, just because someone hurt you, just because a friendship didn't work out, does not mean that you're not worthy of friendship, does not mean that you're not a good friend. Now, something to reflect on is if you lose a friendship, always try and think how you can be better next time too. I think if we get stuck in a victim mentality, we never become the best versions of ourselves. You have to be capable of self-reflection, even in times where you feel like the victim, even in times when you feel like you were hurt, even if it's correcting the way that you handle people that allowed them to get to a point to be able to hurt you the way that that person did, even if it is figuring out if your boundaries are too weak and put you in situations to be hurt that way and how to not end up that way again. Not putting a wall up, not putting a guard up, but saying, how can I learn from this and make me better for the next friend that I have? And that way, in my mind, nothing is ever a loss. You are either something it ended wonderfully or whatever, and you're taking those good things that you took from that friendship or relationship into your next season, or it ended really bad and now you have every single key point on how not to do it again. So you're either growing or you're gaining. Like there is no loss truly, because you're always going to take something away from a season of life. And one thing about me that has really helped me, not only in personal relationships, but in business, is that I never see anything as a loss. I see myself as a winner in everything I do. And that is not like, oh, I'm so proud and I think I'm the best. That's not it either. I'm not like full of myself, but I never get fully discouraged. I may have a moment of self doubt, like, man, that was really awful, or that interaction with a customer really was defeated me, made me feel, you have a Karen every once in a while, made me feel, awful. And I don't know if I can deal with the public or whatever. But I always take it as like this was it's the exception, not the rule. Bad things are not who I am. Bad things may happen to me, but I'm not bad. My life is not bad. This moment might be bad. This day might be bad, but my life is good. My life is great. I will speak positivity over myself. I will think positivity over myself. I will accomplish my goals. I will accomplish my dreams. My house could burn up right now, and I'd be like, it was all part of the plan. Something else is going to come from this. Something really good's going to come from this.
hmm,
And I'd be sad for like a day, and then I would truly believe that something better was going to happen, because I never get stuck on my own plans ever. I make a loose plan, and if it doesn't go according to it, I don't mourn the loose plan I made. Whatever way it happened, I don't know. I like that. I had a shoot one time where I was fully booked, and I have certain shoots where I have slots scheduled. Like I rent a space, so I have slots scheduled, and the amount of money I charge all goes back into how much I've upfronted to like rent the space, products I'm using, my time, obviously. So when you lose money, when you have a certain amount of slots and those people are no call, no shows, you're losing that money off the top and you can't get it back. So now you're in the hole or you break even with that shoot. So I have had two people just no call, no show and put a dent in my pocket. And I was so discouraged. But then I started thinking about it and I was like, my baby probably misses me. And now I'm going to finish early and I'm going to get home and I'm going to eat and I'm going to play with her and she's going to giggle and I'm going to get to be an introvert again at my house sooner than I was going to be able to be earlier. So actually it's kind of a win-win. Um, and you know what? Maybe I was meant to have a shorter shoot today. Who knows what would have happened or how I would have felt mentally if I'd had these last two people. Maybe these last two people were going to be the kind of people that made me just want to give up. Or maybe they were going to be the kind of people that were going to make my night bad. I see, I don't get attached to what could be, I guess.
Yeah, that's really good way of thinking, in life. Like you said, it's not being like cocky or prideful, thinking that, like, oh, like I'm a winner no matter what. It's just more thinking like putting that in your head that like, you're gonna look at the positive side and like having the confidence knowing that everything has a reason, for things to happen. And like you said, with your situations, I hate to hear that there's, a couple of no shows, but like you said, at the same time, it kind of made it to where you had that quality time with your family, and that's definitely a win-win. Again, to be with your loved ones and again to spend time with them. So that's just even when it comes to friendships, like just looking at it, because of course, like there it is a two-way street. It's not just one person that messes up a friendship. Everybody could learn something out of it. Like you said, what can I do better next time? Like, I can be more assertive. I could be, if you're being too assertive, you can be less assertive, just finding that right balance and just knowing how to be the right kind of friend that, or being like treating people the way that you want to be treated and all that. So I said that's definitely, a good positive like outlook, as far as, seeing, the end game of it, just trying to grow as a person and trying to be the best version of yourself that, that God called you to be. And I said, even like I said in business, just being the right kind of, person in that area too, so not letting those, even though financially it, could have put a dent in, your business that day. But like I said, at the same time, you still looked at it from a positive perspective. So like I definitely, love hearing that. So Les, I definitely appreciate you sharing with that with me. So that's definitely a good way to look at it. And let's see, I feel like I had oh yeah, I do have a couple more questions. So my next question, oh no, so yeah, my next question is like what are some like especially like a really close friend, like if you get into a big fight with your friend, you really care about this person, and either your feelings were hurt by this person or you hurt their feelings. Like what do you think are some good ways to resolve an issue with a friend, like whenever an argument happens, or even during an argument? Like what are some good ways that you try to keep it to where it goes either like make sure it doesn't go below the belt, and then like like how do you think you can resolve those kind of issues if somebody does hit below the belt? I know that's kind of like a really layered question.
I think communicate. Express the way that you feel. First of all, if you're too angry or heated, don't have that time to communicate. Take some space, take a couple steps back, reflect, write it down if you have to, what it is that you're feeling and why you feel that way. Bring it to that person, present it to them in a well thought out way with consideration for their feelings, and then wait for their response. And then if you leave the door open for you to be wrong, don't assume that there is only one wrong party. Maybe there was something you said or the way you said something that led them to saying or doing what they did. Not that their actions are your fault, but that there are two contributors to a relationship and to the uh, strife or issues that can come about from a relationship. And then if you find out that it was a what usually is a combined effort that led to the issue, like you did something and then they did something or whatever, or it took two to tango basically, I would say that you ask them, what can I do What can I do to make you feel better? What can I do to make this right? I apologize. Not if you felt bad, because that's such a fake apology. I apologize for what you feel and how I may have contributed to that. If they give you an express thing you did, if y'all have talked up to that point, I'm sorry for doing XYZ. Had I known that it was going to do this damage to you or hurt your feelings the way that it has, I would have never done that. I love you. I want the absolute best for you. I want, to maintain this friendship, and I never want us to be ugly towards one another. What can I do moving forward to make you feel like I'm a safe space, to make you feel seen and heard, to make you feel loved? What can I do better to be a better friend? And a good friend will ask you the same. A good friend will meet you halfway, and you will work together to make sure that same issue doesn't happen again, and also to lay the groundwork for better communication in the future so that those kinds of things don't come up as often.
Yeah, that I love that answer. That's a really good one because, like I said, sometimes in the moment when like you're having a really heated debate, and like, and sometimes I'm like the type like immediately, like I want to try to like solve it, but then at the same time your emotions are running high, and like, and I guess just like